Shalom, welcome to Tech with Torah. I am Keith Hayes. And I feel like the Spirit wants me to share this with you guys. Forgive the ambient noise. It is raining. I am in the truck I'm driving. But look, Torah is important. Okay? Point blank. It's important. Our obedience to His ways, His laws, His commands, His instruction is how the Father, think of it as His love language. It's how He knows that we love Him, that we would trust Him so much that it would perpetuate obedience. Okay? Because think of love and trust as synonymous together, especially when it comes to the Father. How could one say that you love the Father, but you don't trust Him? You don't love Him. You don't. Okay? Now, to the point of the message. With as important as Torah is, how many of us have neglected Messiah? Neglected the fact that Yeshua, the Son, the one and only begotten Son of the Most High living God, He died, He was buried, He resurrected, He raised His temple like He said He did 3 days and 3 nights later. He did all of that for one reason. And that is so that mankind across the board could have a clean slate and rightly have a relationship with the Most High living God. Okay? Yahweh, Yahweh, choose your dialect. Torah is important. But Yeshua came to embody the Torah so that we would know how to walk it out. Where's that grace? Where's that mercy that He showed? Where is that compassion? That empathy? These are characteristics that we ought to be walking. Okay? That's for some of you out there. And for others of you out there, I said this statement. Yeshua, He died, He was buried, He was resurrected, all for one reason, right? All so that we, as mankind across the board, could have a clean slate and rightly have a relationship with the Father. Rightly have a relationship with the Most High. That only comes through Yeshua, through belief in Him. Because God so loved the world that He gave His one and only begotten Son, that whosoever would believe in Him would not perish, but would have everlasting life. Everlasting life. He loves you so much that He gave His only Son. We see the predecessor in Torah, where Abraham, he loved the Father so much that he was going to give his promised son back to him, and the Father said, no, that's not your job. I reserved that for me. I just needed to see one man love me so much. And he had his reward. His seed is as numerous as the stars. We are His seed. See, the Father, He's gracious, He's loving, He's kind, He is merciful, He's all of these things. But with just as real as that is, He is just and righteous and true. You cannot have mercy without righteousness and justice. They go hand in hand. He is a loving God. But how do you press in How do you establish that relationship that he so desired to give us? To openly and freely and rightly have a relationship with the Most High simply because you believe. I would submit to you, beloved, that the only way that that happens is if you truly come to him as you are. It doesn't matter what's going on in your mind. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you think you've done, what you've said, or anything like that. Repentance is necessary. So ask for forgiveness. But once you ask for forgiveness, it's done. Okay? It's done. It's over with. All that matters after that is you look past the sin and you focus on the Father. You focus on him, his goodness, his righteousness, his grace, his kindness, his mercy. Because he is good. You focus on him. Stop focusing on yourself. You don't matter. You don't matter. It doesn't matter what it means to you. It matters what it means to the Most High. Across the board. Press into him. What does that mean? Get on your face. Ask him to show up in your life. Read his word. You want to hear him speak to you? Read his word. Pray. Talk to him, and most importantly, listen. Torah is important, but the message that we seem to be needing right now is Christ and him crucified. We cannot neglect Yeshua as the Messiah, because without him, Torah profits you nothing. The Father desires us to worship in spirit and in truth. Yes, we need the Torah. The Torah is his truth. The word of the living God is truth. But he requires us, it is a requirement to operate in the Spirit with the evidence of the fruit of the Spirit, with peace, joy in the Spirit, loving kindness. Like all of these things, they are evidence or fruit of the Spirit. And then there are offices of the Spirit, where you have some teaching, some preaching, some prophesying, and then we get individual gifts as well, where we get to speak in other languages, or what is called as tongues. And we have a spiritual prayer life and a spiritual utterance that we can activate in the Spirit if we choose to. These are the things that are being neglected. Christ and him crucified, and the operation of the Spirit. Beloved, do not go so far into Torah that you lose sight of your first love. You lose sight of the thing that got you there to begin with. And that is your love for the Most High living God and his Son, who was brutally beaten. He wore a crown of thorns. He prayed and cried so hard in the garden that he sweat blood before the thorns were even pressed into his skull. His beard was pulled out of his face. His face was marred so completely that he's completely unrecognizable. As a matter of fact, it is my opinion that when he comes back, he will bear all those scars. Now, that's my opinion. simply just so that we could see what he did for us, as a continual reminder that he loves us so much, that he gave himself. He thought it not beneath himself to become like a man, to become a part of mankind, not even a comely one, not even a good-looking, attractive individual, but he was an individual that none would even be drawn to him. But because of the compassion and the love and the grace that he bestowed on mankind across the board, people drove to him by the thousands. And what did they do? They came to him as they were. And he changed all of them. He can change you. He changed me. I'm going to leave you with that. I love you. Don't forget it. Yeshua, our Messiah, he's coming back again. It's time to prepare the way. Shalom.